linear correlation. Supposing variable X and how it is related to Y, or what is the strength of a relationship between X and Y variable. Then we have a linear correlation, two variable correlation. If we are more than two, it is multiple correlation. But anyway, today we are there to discuss about two linear correlation or two variable correlation. Now, to have your idea about what is a variable, supposing you want to know food habit and weight, how food habit is related to weight. And if you can measure the food habit of some people and also the weight and also their weight, and now you can find out a correlation among food habit and weight. Exercise and weight. Any two variable relationship between mathematics and science. Supposing someone claims that if someone is good in mathematics, one is likely to be good in science, then we can estimate the relationship. That kind of estimating the relationship is called correlation. Statistically, we can estimate the relationship, the strength of that relationship, which we can call the correlation. Means statistically, correlation is a procedure to estimate the strength of a relationship among two variables. Now, the next question is, if we want to measure the strength of a relationship, it must be numerically reported or numerically evaluated. We should have some numerical measurement that only can give you some idea about the measurement. We can have some numerical value about the strength of relationship. And that relationship, that numerical relationship between X and Y, strength of association, strength of relationship, in correlation is known as coefficient of correlation. Or when we report the relationship, we report it by a statistical term called coefficient of correlation. And the coefficient of correlation, I'll be coming to how they are being estimated, but the coefficient of correlation is a value, is any value between -1 to +1. That is fixed by the model. The model decided that it cannot be less than -1, it cannot be more than +1. And what does it mean? -1 and +1 as coefficient of correlation, what it means? +1, if two variable strength of relationship is estimated as +1, means the two variables are 100% in a relationship. They go together perfectly, and that is called a plus correlation. And if two variables have minus correlation and -1, then two variables are perfectly opposite to each other. When one is there, the other one is not there. Or in other words, when one increases, the other one completely it decreases that. So when we think of a correlation coefficient, we have two kind of things: negative correlation, positive correlation. That you know, two variables can be positively related, two variables can be negatively related. When one agrees 100% with the other, then they are positively related. When one completely disagrees with other, they are completely negatively related. But in between this minus and +1, there are many more values. Supposing 0.7, it's a value between -1 and +1, 0.7. 0.7 means that is a strong positive relationship between, let us suppose the two variables X and Y. There is a strong positive relationship between X and Y. Means when there is an increase in X, there is also corresponding increase in Y. But it is not 100%. If someone will ask what is the relationship, what is the exact nature of relationship between X and Y, if the correlation is 0.7, it is the square of the correlation coefficient, 0.77 square, 49%. 0.7 into 0.7 is 0.49 and multiplied into 100. The percentage of variance accounted for by correlation of 0.7 is 49%. That means you can say if two variables correlated 0.7, you can say they are 49% in agreement and 51% they are unique or different. Likewise, minus 0.6 correlation, means they are negative. That means 36% they don't agree with each other. And the rest, they are unique. That is what is correlation coefficient. And as the correlation coefficient tends to 0, means they are independent of each other. That is no correlation. They don't have a relationship. This is about, I am telling you what is correlation. Then what is coefficient of correlation? Coefficient of correlation is, it is a range, and plus minus value. Minus correlation indicate a negative relationship among the variables. Supposing taking fast food and increases, right? Supposing burning a candle, the more time it burns, the length of the candle decreases. That means that is a perfect negative relationship. Like that, you will find many variables which are positively related, many variables which are negatively related, and correlation will indicate this, not only the strength of the relationship, but also the direction of relationship. And then about correlation, the next thing that you need to know, some common basic fundamental things I am telling. What is a correlation? Correlation basically, fundamentally, it is a ratio. In that way, almost every statistical process is a kind of ratio. Correlation is a ratio. If you look at the your book, please have the book being supplied to you by IGNOU. If you look at the book, you see in the page 13, you see correlation is a ratio between variance of the variable 1 into variance of the variable 2 divided by covariance, or variance shared by both variables. Variance variable 1, that is the basic fundamental logical structure, or you can say basic issue where from the correlation concept has emerged, the model concept. Variance of variable 1 into variance of variable 2 divided by variance shared by x and y, or we can call it covariance. Then you need to know the concept, what is correlation, what is positive correlation coefficient, what is positive correlation, what is negative correlation, and what is the logic of correlation, or what is the, where from the formula has been derived. And there are many different approaches or formula for estimating correlation. And depending on the nature of data we can have two methods of correlation: Pearson's product movement correlation, Pearson's rank order correlation. When we have the data in either interval scale or ratio scale, I think I have told you about scaling yesterday in the previous class. If the data is in interval scale or ratio scale, at least in interval scale, we can go for Pearson's product movement correlation. And if the data is not in interval scale, it is in rank or it is in ordinal scale, then we have to go for rank order correlation. And Pearson's correlation and rank order correlation, both of them estimate the strength of relationship. But Pearson's correlation as a parametric statistics is a better model for estimating the relationship. And then correlation, what is the most important thing? Some numerical example is there in your data, in your book. If all of you have the book, or else I'll be telling you about a numerical. There are different formula for calculating the correlation. You can have a paper with you. Yes. Any question? Any question? You are also supposed to calculate the correlation in your examination. And if you want, I am telling you, you take 2 XY data, 5 each. Have a paper. Today we will be taking 2 hours class. I will be discussing all those things, important things. Have a paper, write capital X, and in vertical line you write data. I am asking you to write data. 5. All of you, if you are interested in this, you need to know the calculation procedure also. x 5, x sorry, you write 5, 7, 5, 8, plus 6, sorry, plus 5, 30, it should be 30, the total should be 30. And then y, you write 3, 4, 6, 5, 7 is equal to 25. Is it that you are doing that? I will be just telling you how to calculate, or else you will face difficulty in the examination.
Sir, X values are
X,
57585.
no, I have not remembered. You
Okay.
tell me what is X so that others will
It
listen.
it is 57585.
5
It's
plus
right.
7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 5.
30.
30, yes,
Correct. Correct.
correct. Why you have?
Yes, sir.
Now how to proceed and calculate? Very simple calculation I will be telling. Now you get the sigma of x, summation of x. It is 30. One thing you can do. I am sorry. I am giving you the method of short method. I am giving you short method. Don't make the x column 30. The last one is 5. Change it to 7. Change it to 7. Because that will be the kind of question for you. Do you remember? Do you listen? X ro last one to be make it 7.
Yes,
What is
sir.
the last one of y? What is the last one of y?
7.
7, sir.
What is the last score of y?
7,
7,
sir.
sir.
7. Make it 6. Make it 6. Because the short method I am doing. Now you add all the
Sir,
scores.
then total of X is 32 and Y is 26.
Yes, yes, that is what I wanted. I wanted
Okay,
to make
okay,
it
sir.
easy for you, but it's not good.
Okay, sir.
32 and 26. Now you write what is the mean. Mean means there are 5 scores, 32 by 5. 6.4. Mean of x. Mean x. Likewise, the mean of y. 5.2. Now I am telling why I have changed the because I am teaching you the short method for calculation. Therefore, just by getting full number, it will not help you to know everything. You got mean of x and mean of y. Now you can have two other means which are called assumed means. Because means are in decimal numbers, in order to have less complicated calculations, you can go for assumed mean, and it is called assumed mean method. That is AMX is equal to your mean of x is equal to 6.4. You can assume it as only 6. Do you get the idea? Rajeshwari.
Yes, sir.
And
No,
you
sir.
take two assumed means. One 6 for mean x, assumed mean x as 6, and 4 for assumed mean y.
It's a
You
round
write,
of figure based.
yeah, that is nearest to actual mean nearer to actual mean and a round figure. You will be enjoying the benefit of that. I will be telling you. And now, next is X dash column. X dash means actual score minus the assumed mean. What is the first actual score of X? Rina,
Yes, sir.
what is the first actual score of X?
0.4, sir.
X ರ score 4.
Sir, 0.4, 6.4 minus 6.
6.4. What is the actual score? Means in the first score in the X column.
Oh,
First,
that is 6.4. 6.4.
I have not asked 6 point any.
Oh, so sorry,
Five,
sorry,
five,
sir.
five.
Five, sir.
5. 5,
Ah.
5.
5.
I'm sorry.
And X dash will be 5 minus what is the assumed mean?
6.
5 minus 6 minus 1, right? X dash minus 1.
Yes, sir.
Second one, second score.
3 minus 5, 2.
Ah.
3 minus 5, minus 2.
2 minus 2. Like that, you fill up the X1 column and X2 column. A X1 and Y1 column.
Okay.
Y1, what is the first number of Y1?
First
Y.
number y is 3, sir. Y1 is minus 2.
Right. 3. What is the assumed mean Y?
5.
3 minus 5 minus 2. Like
Yes.
this, you complete X1 and Y1 column.
Okay.
Quick.
Done, sir.
Done. Now sigma X1. No, sigma
Minus
X1.
1.
Next column. Not sigma is not required. Next column, X1 square. These things should be written as a small x, not capital. Only first two are capital, others are small. This is called deviation and they should be written as small. X1 square column. What is the first X1?
25.
First X1. First X1 is?
25.
What is 25? X1 means deviation. I am not asking you 1. I call you to subtract and get column X1 column,
Oh.
Y1 column. You have
So
to square the
minus 1.
minus 1 square means 1. X1 is minus 1.
Yes, positive. Yes, yes, sir.
Likewise, you get X1 square column and X2 square column.
Okay.
That is, sorry, X1 square column and Y1 square column.
Yes, sir.
Got it? Anybody else? Rajeshwari. Smruti. Tell me what is the sigma x1 square and sigma x2 square? Sorry, sigma x1 square and sigma y1 square. X1 square column, I have given you a very simple problem just to help you know the method of calculating, because you will have a question on this.
So sigma x1 square is 8 and sigma y2 square is
Sigma
15.
y1 square is? Am I audible? Se call correct. Y1 square is?
Sir, 7.
7. Now have the last column, that is x1 y1. For each value of x1, multiply with y1 and put the x1 y1 column. You can call it x dash y dash column. You can call it 1 or you can call it x dash y dash. Do you get what is the x1, first x1? Arena. First
So,
x1. First x1. x1 into y1.
is minus 1.
First x1 is 2.
2. Minus 1 into minus 2.
Y1.
Yeah. No, x1 into y1. Y1 is 2. Minus 2. So minus 1 and
that is
minus
minus
2.
2. Min,
Yeah. So it
minus
is
1
2
into
now.
minus 2, 2 now.
Multiplication.
And you complete that column and find out the
Yeah.
summation, sigma. Now all columns are over, completed. Now I want to see that you have sigma x1 square, sigma x2, sigma y1 square, and sigma x1 y1. Three values are there. Dhriti. Na Priti, I don't know. D mat dekha jauchi. If it is Priti or Dhriti. ହେଲା କି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର sigma x1 square, sigma x2 square, sorry, sigma y1 square, sigma x1 y1. Three values I want to get. Because this is important for you, I have to say about this calculation. That there is always a possibility that you will get a problem on correlation. That is why I am doing it.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Priti.
Yes, sir. I got sigma x1 is 2.
Sigma
and
x1 square.
x, sigma x1 square.
What it is?
I got 8.
You got all the three values, sigma x1 square, sigma y1 square, and
Yes.
sigma x1 y1. Last three columns. Then you am I audible?
Yes, sir.
It's a call. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. Now,
Audible, sir.
yes. Now you write the formula for calculating correlation. Correlation is small r equal to sigma x dashed y dashed by x1 y1, whatever you have written. Sigma x dashed y dashed by n minus Cx, Cy. Whole divided by standard deviation x, standard deviation y. Now you have to find out, you have got sigma x dash y dash. You know what is n. N is 5 here because you have taken 5 variables, 5 comparison groups. And now Cx, Cy. Cx is, you have taken your assumed mean for x and you have a real mean. What is the real mean and what is the mean you have assumed? Smruti, for x, what is the actual mean and what is the mean you have assumed? Now, I think that it's not communicating appropriately calculation. Let me carry out the theory part, and there is example in your book. In tomorrow class,
But sir, exam.
in tomorrow
Yeah.
you go through the example.
But
If you find any difficulty in calculating a correlation by product, Pearson's correlation, please ask me tomorrow. Because this is not, by this method, I don't think it will be working properly. Now, next is about correlation. We have discussed some of the things, and next important things that we have to discuss about today. I have told you what is product movement correlation, what is rank order correlation, and you refer to the book for calculating the correlation, and then partial correlation and multiple correlation. I am just explaining you the concept. Up to now, we have discussed about linear correlation, two variables having the strength of relationship. Partial correlation is a concept when two variables are related, but the relationship is affected by a third variable. Variable A, variable B is related, but their relationship is influenced by a variable C. Their relationship is impacted by another variable. When we have such variables to discuss, then we have to parcel out or remove the effect of the third variable to see the actual relationship of A and B. And that kind of relationship estimation is reported by a kind of correlation called partial correlation. Do you get the idea? A and B, they have a relationship. We measure the strength of relationship. But sometimes it happens like this, that A and B is related, relationship one way is influenced by a third variable. And we do not want that the measurement effect should have a third variable effect. And if you want to take it out, the effect of the third variable, we call it parceling out. The correlation between A and B parceling out or removing the effect of C. That is a kind of correlation that you will have to deal with, partial correlation. And multiple correlation. Multiple correlation means when you simultaneously try to find out the relationship among many variables. That is multiple correlation, the simultaneous relationship. And with this, important thing about the correlation, because we have to discuss other things also. In the book. And another thing is regression. I am just telling you the concept. Another thing is regression. And what is regression? Regression means when you know that A and B is related by correlation, you come to know that A and B, these are two variables, or x and y are two variables, they have a relationship. Then naturally it assumes that given A, you can predict some aspect of B. Supposing A and B are two good friends, and if you come to know that A is there in the canteen, that is some prediction that B is most likely in the canteen. That is what is the kind of thing in the regression type of thing. In regression, when it is based on correlation, and when we want to predict a variable from another variable, we know, supposing we know that mathematics is related strongly to science, and I know your mathematics score, then I can possibly predict what will be your performance in science. That is what is called regression. Regression is a prediction process by using correlation. And by in how we have that kind of facilities in regression, we develop an equation called a regression equation by using the correlation. When two variables are correlated, by using these correlations, we can extend it to know the relationship. We can develop an equation between these two variables, which is called regression equation. And by using the regression equation, we can predict one variable from other. That is the function of regression. It is a predictive function by using correlation. And similarly, regression can be of two types: bivariate regression and multivariate regression. By bivariate regression, when you predict one variable from another one, you predict the performance of someone without knowing someone in science from his performance in mathematics. If he has secured 70% in mathematics, by that regression equation, scientific prediction, by that regression equation, you can predict what will be his likely score in science. But if you predict one variable from many variables, then you are going for a multiple regression. Supposing you know that one science performance is related to mathematics, to English, to reasoning and all that. You have all his scores, but no, you don't have the science score. Now by using all these scores in different subjects, you can predict the science score of the subject. And that is called multiple regression. Bivariate regression and multiple regression. Now, these are some of the parts of the course in paper 1, bivariate and multivariate. I am just skipping the things because many. Do you have any question relating to correlation? Because I am supposed to give you the answer about your questions. Do you have any questions relating to correlation and regression? Or else we will go to the next thing that we are supposed to do. Any question? Actually, it is desired that you should have gone through your books provided to you, and you should have specific questions about that. Now,
Sir,
I have given you some idea. Yes.
Sir, the significant testing is also covered in correlation only, no?
Significant.
The significant test. Yeah, the significance test.
You want to know what significant? Significantly. Okay.
So I want to know
Anyway,
that will be part of regression or correlation.
power, it's not audible to me clearly.
Sir, I want to know that
Significance
significant.
of correlation. Anyway,
Thing.
I am telling you, significance of correlation. Now, her question is, what is significance of correlation? Now, significance means its significance. Statistical significance is a question not only for correlation, for all kinds of statistical analysis. Whatever you do, whatever parametric, non-parametric, whatever kind of statistical analysis you do, after conducting that, you have a question called significance. Means, supposing you got a correlation of 0.5. Now the question is the relationship between the two variables is actually there is a strength of relationship, or it's not just a false relationship? And that you test by a statistical method called significance analysis, or you can call testing the significance. What is that? When you want to test the significance, you have one reference value called degree of freedom. And that degree of freedom for correlation is n minus 1. And by using this, supposing you have 20 subjects, you have calculated a correlation on 20 subjects, your degree of freedom is 20 minus 1, 19. And now, you look into the table value. There is a critical value provided in the table by the process of normal methods. They have calculated it what should be the minimum correlation value in order to be significant at this DF level. Supposing you in 19 DF you find 19 DF you find the required correlation value at 0.05 level of significance is 0.36 and your value is 0.54. Now you say your value is significant. Your value is significant means you can justify that the relationship exists significantly among the two variables. You can claim that the relationship is a real relationship. If your value is less than the table value or less than the critical value, then you say that your value is not significant and therefore the relationship doesn't exist between these two variables. I think you got the idea about what is significance of a correlation. And that is also applicable to every kind of statistical tests. You have to go for significance test. And now, with this, I completed correlation. And the next is in your thing is normal distribution or normal probability curve. This is another important thing about your course, normal probability distribution. Now, what is normal probability distribution? Normal probability as a concept is derived from theory of probability. Theory of probability. What is probability then? Probability by definition is frequency of occurrence of an event among similar events. Probability is the frequency of occurrence of an event among similar events. Now let me give you an example. What is probability? Supposing you have a coin and you know a coin has two sides, head and tail. You throw that coin 100 times. And I ask you, as a scientific, rational individual, I will ask you, what is the probability that head will come up or how many times head will come up if you throw an unbiased coin 100 times? What is your answer? Anybody? If I throw an unbiased
100
coin,
times.
if I throw 100 times, how many times head will come up? Probability. Because there are two sides, head and tail.
50%.
What is the mathematical? କେତେ? ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ କଏନକୁ ଏମିତି 100 ଥର କରି ଫିଙ୍ଗିବି, what will be the probability of head coming up? How many times? All times head will come up.
50% sir, head and 50% tail.
That is the best scientific probability. Head will come 50 times, tail will come 50 times. Anybody not able to understand this concept? If I throw a coin 100 times and someone will ask, what is the best answer for this? Best guess, how many times it will come, I don't know. But best answer is head will come 50 times and that is called probability. The best probability is head will come 50 times, tail will come 50 times. Now, if I throw two coins simultaneously, this is very common question, common thing that you have to answer. If I throw two coins simultaneously, what kind of events will happen? I told you probability refers to the कौन? What is the definition of probability? I told you. How many
Sir,
times?
sir, you told that it is a frequency of occurrence.
Among the events, among similar events.
Similarly, yes.
An example, I कहले 100 times I throw the coin, and there are two events. One event is head coming up, another event is tail coming up. Then probability is 50-50. Now I have a question. It's a very simple question. In order to explain you what is probability, if I throw two coins simultaneously, eta coin dharibe and fikibi, how many possible events are there? Who can tell me? This is a very simple question. ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଦିଟା କଏନ ଏକାଠି ଧରିକିରି ଏକାଠି ପକେଇଦେଲି କଣ କଣ ଇଭେଣ୍ଟ ହବାର ସମ୍ଭାବନା ଅଛି?
Sir, is it 100% possibility? Because 100 times heads can come and 100 times tail can come.
Means probability. What is the probability? If you throw one coin 100 times, one coin, second time, third time, like that.
50%.
Someone is asking you, a child is asking you, what can happen? What you will tell to the child? Mathematical functioning कौन? It is 50-50.
Again, it is 50, sir.
50 probability. I am not telling you the reality. What is probability? If someone says it will be 70-30, is he right or you are right? 50-50. Nobody knows what will happen, but probability mathematical model is that 50-50. Anyway, now tell me, if you throw two coins simultaneously, what are the kind of event will come? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Phone would ask. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Some problem is there. Now tell me, if I throw two coins simultaneously, कौन जमी गोटे कॉइन पकेले हेड आसीबो ना टेल आसीबो दीटा इवेंट दीटा कॉइन पकेले कौन हबो व्हाट विल बी द काइंड ऑफ इवेंट्स
माने कोटा हेड आसपारे कोटा टेल भी हेई पारे
माने कौन उल्टा हेड
Sir,
माने इवेंट
so events would be head tail, tail, and
and नहीं no more and it is either head or head tail or tail there can be three events only be mathematical can there be any other event it is either head or tail or head tail. These are the three possible events. There cannot be any further event. Do you get the idea? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Now, supposing I throw two coins 100 times. This is the basic of probability. You must learn it. This is the basic thing of probability. If I throw two coins simultaneously, there will be three events. And if I throw 100 times, how many times? Possibly. I'm not asking you are not the asking you what will be the best possible mathematically. that both heads will come up. ଶହେ ଥରରେ ଦିଟାକ ହେଡ୍ ଆସିବ, ତାର ପ୍ରୋବାବିଲିଟି କେତେ? Anybody? Any idea about this as a probability? This is called binomial exponential. You have been taught this thing from school time. A plus B whole square.
2.
Anybody can remind me? Kete? Imani. What is A plus B whole square?
Sir,
Anybody?
0.
A plus B whole square 0.
Sir, that formula.
हाँ, formula वो पचरती.
अच्छा. A square plus B square plus 2AB.
हाँ. Same thing. What is H plus T whole square? Because you are taking two coins and each coin having H and head and a tail. What is
Sir,
H
0.
plus T whole square? I don't understand what H plus T whole square means.
Sir,
0.
0.
H square plus T square plus 2. 0.
Sir, like H square plus T square plus 2HT. The same
That is the
formula.
answer.
Okay.
Now, this will give you the hint how many times in 100. Means
S square
H
plus
square 2HT T square. H square means
square plus
both
2ab.
heads. HT. That is the formula.
Sir, S square.
Now, applying it to H and T, head and tail, you say that H square, 2HT and T square. H square means 2 head. And this expansion of formula says that
S.
if you throw 4 times coin, 2 coins 4 times, then one time head, both heads will come once, both tail will come once, and head and tail will come twice. 4 ଥର ପକେଇଲେ 2 ଥର head and tail ଆସିବ, ଥରେ head 2ଟାକ head ଆସିବ, ଥରେ 2ଟାକ tail ଆସିବ. ତାହେଲେ 100 ଥର ପକେଇଲେ 2ଟାକ head କେତେ ଆସିବ? 4 ଥରରେ ଥରେ. How many times it will come in 100? Anybody? Probability. If an event happens once in 4 times, 4 ଥରରେ ଥରେ ଆସୁଛି.
1 by 4, sir.
How many times?
0.25. 0.25. 1/4.
What is the point? I am asking you out of 100. 1 in 4.
25%.
How many out of 100?
25%.
It is 25 times.
22.
If an event happens 1 in 4 times, then it is
25.
25 times in 100. It's not 0.5. It's 0.25. It's 25 times. And if an event happens 2 times in 100, 2 times in 4, but how many times it will happen in 100?
50 times.
50 times. Like that. That means this is how you have to understand what is probability. Supposing I throw 3 coins at a time, how many events will be there? Who can tell me? 2 coins means H plus T square. 3 coins means H plus T Priti. 2 कॉइन पे हमें h plus t स्क्वायर बाहर करू तीनटा कॉइन पे सुजीत respond
sir.
It is h plus t q. Anybody remember the school mathematics? What is h plus t q? Anyway, this is about introducing the normal probability curve or probability. Now, a normal probability curve has been developed by this. I tell you 2, 3, 5 when it is a large number. If you expand it at a large number and calculate the probability, that will emerge into a normal probability curve. And now, what are the characteristics of a normal probability curve? Now, about your question. A normal probability curve is a bell-shaped curve. Sometimes you will get the question, what are the characteristics of the normal probability curve? A normal probability curve is a bell-shaped curve. What is meant by bell-shaped? It looks like a bell. Bell means ghanti, amar jo house. The temple bell, ghanti. It looks like a bell. A normal probability curve is a bilaterally symmetrical. These are the characteristics. Bilaterally symmetrical curve. You have to write each of these characteristics in your answer. It's a bilaterally symmetrical curve. Means if you divide the normal probability curve exactly in the middle, both the halves will be 100% same. Man is a bilaterally symmetrical animal. Monish ko jodi thik nako sidha chiri dabo, if you divide exactly in the nose line, both the half will be same. Thank you. Then normal probability curve is a bilaterally symmetrical curve. Normal probability curve is an asymptotic curve because it does not touch the baseline. Normal probability curve has the mean, median and mode exactly at the mid value. Like that, you will read all the characteristics of the normal probability curve because there are 10 to 12 characteristics, and if this question comes, you have to write. Now about normal probability curve, other things you have to read. And the next thing that I have to discuss about is the test and analysis of variance. Anyway, for today, it's the class is over, and I wish that tomorrow we will be taking classes for all the 4 issues, that 4 books, and you ask the questions of your difficulty, so that I will be explaining only. You need
Yes,
to
sir.
you need to read those books. Exactly what are the kind of, that is what is counseling class. This is what is counseling class. In one class, one cannot teach you everything. Therefore, exactly
Right.
relating to your course, exactly what is the thing that you want to know, that you just don't understand. You get prepared. Tomorrow you ask me questions and I will discuss that way with you. Any
Sir, we
problem?
can ask any question from statistics, like an over
Uh,
test and everything.
any
Say
question means that must be
chi-square.
relevant to your course.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
question. Uh,
Test like chi-square and ANOVA test also.
anything. That way you can
Oh.
ask.
Sir, I log into practical 14 tomorrow to ask couple of questions. Do you have answer? You said that you'll share number.
Practicals.
No, you said now in the beginning that you'll share some numbers to reach out to 00 practicals maybe tomorrow.
007 practical. I'll be
Yeah.
telling you the numbers, the WhatsApp I will be telling you the WhatsApp group. Can you? Oh, someone is adding me. We cannot help you. Anyway, I
Yeah.
will be. You send me your number. I will
But
text you some number in that group. That's all.
but sir, how should I send it to you? Your number is not with me.
You write my number
Yes, sir.
98611
98611.
44
Yes.
290.
290. So it's 98611
Just you give me your number. I will be sending in that number, someone's number in that group.
Right, sir. I just need those two practicals that you have taught in 007.
Huh.
Okay. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
one thing we can do, why should we go via them?
Yes, sir.
You just give me in my number, your WhatsApp number, and I will be sending it to your WhatsApp. That's all.
Yes, sir. And then I'll be sharing with all the group members.
नहीं,
Yes, sir. I'll do that.
हाँ, नहीं,
Okay, sir.
all the group members. And one thing is, I have several meetings, several classes. You just give me your WhatsApp number, and whatever I have sent to them, I will send to you personally. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
But
Thank
I
you
will
for
be
your
doing
time.
it only tomorrow, not today.
Yes, sir. Anytime that you are available. Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.